أكبر
The
الله
fraud that my client is charged with, the amount of the fraud is $689,970.24.
Alhamdulillah.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. My name is Ishaq Mustakim. My father is from Haiti and my mother is from Switzerland, and I'm Muslim 2 years now. I was born in Montreal and I grew up in Montreal. When I was a young kid, I was really good in school. Like my mom, I'm sure my mom had like high hope in me because I was his first kid, and I was a really good kid, really good grades in school and everything. Everything changed while I was looking for happiness. I was only living with my mom and my stepfather, and I didn't really have a father figure. My stepfather was not a father figure, and my dad was not in my life. So I ended up being raised by the street. So at the age of 13, 14 years old, I started looking like the other kids in school, and I saw the kids that were taking drugs and drinking alcohol and going out with girls. I saw them like more happy than the other kids. So I started to wanted to be with them and try that stuff. So that's what I did. And hanging out with bad people end up to giving us like bad habits. So at the age of 15, I was so bad that they put me in like a juvenile jail. So I went to juvenile jail like for a few months, and after that I didn't stop like doing bad things. I did so much bad things that they wanted me like to lock me down like for good. So I ran out from that juvenile jail, and after that my mom had to send me to Switzerland. So I went to Switzerland to work for her brother, and I was working there I worked there for 3 months. But then again, I was alone there, but I put myself into a trouble that the police was looking for me, that I had to come back here to Montreal. And that was at the age of 17. At the age of 17, I cooled off. I stopped doing like bad things a little bit because I was saying to myself like soon I will be 18, and soon like if I get caught, I will go to jail. But I don't know what happened with me. Like at 18, like I started back again, and they got me, and I went to jail for like 2 years. Before I went to jail, I learned that the happiness was into getting high, getting drunk, and getting with girls. But in jail, because jail is the school of crime, I learned that the happiness was into getting a lot of material thing, a lot of money. And 2 years in that jail made me have a criminal mind. I didn't have a really criminal mind before, but that 2 years, like that's what it did. And I was Christian before, and I was Christian, but I was not praying. I was only praying like when I wanted something really bad, or when I was into problems. And that jail time was for me a problem. So I started reading the Bible and praying a little bit. And I don't know why, like somebody that I wasn't speaking with, he wasn't around like who I was hanging with. He just came and gave me the Quran, and he told me to read it. But at that time, like I was reading the Bible, and the Quran was not written the same way, so it didn't like touch me. So I just like give it back. After when I got out from jail, um, I started my mission. My mission to get money. When I got out of jail is there that when I got out of jail is then when I started chasing the money, getting after the money, and because I had no school and the fastest way to get money was a criminal way, that's the way I went. And in every type of way to make money, any type of like bad thing you can think, I was in it, because really my plan was getting money. And I lived like, I don't know if it's a good thing, or if some people would say it's a good thing, some people would say it's a curse, because in my life, like, I achieved like most of my goals that I wanted. And for 10 years, like, I lived that life of like luxury, that life of power and respect. So because when I say this, like, people don't really understand, so I have to make a little bit like of explain a little bit. Like when I say like I had the things that most people, young and older, they would like to have, that I had in my life, they don't really understand, because everybody has his own perspective on like what is luxurious. So when we're talking about cars, Benzes, I had a few, BMW, Porsche, Viper, Hummer, Jaguar, Cadillac, like most of all the brands, like the big brands, that's the car that I had. Like houses, condos, but not like only like the cars like normal, like the car, because when you buy a car, it's like to make you happy, but the thing is that happiness doesn't last. So right after, like, you have to suit up the car. But after, when the car is suited up, there's nothing else to do. So you buy another car. Me at one time, like, had like 2 cars, and I was renting out like other cars just to have another change, because like I was bored. I had a house and I was living in hotel suites. It cost me like 10,000 a week just for hotel suites. So the clothes, like just the clothing, like because like when you have money, like even the money, like change your style a little bit. Because before I was like I was dressing like everybody, but after that I had to like buy suits, you know, like $3,000-4,000 suits, you know. And I had like me, I was not really the type that was going like into clubs and partying. I didn't really like that. What I liked it more was really, because really I was on a mission. I really liked it more, like staying home, counting money, planning for other plans, you know. So when I got out into the club, was only like for money purpose. When we had like meetings, or like when they invite me, so they had to be like VIPs and everything, because the thing is that most of the rappers, they want to be like gangsters, and most of the kids, they want to be like rappers, but those rappers, they want to be like the criminals. And at one time, that was the type of person I was. I was a person that really liked like to enjoy a good meal. So that's what I liked it most. Every day going to big restaurant, like the biggest restaurant of the cities, and eating on floors that most of you will never see. like floors that are not open to the public. So we eat like for like few thousand a meal, and that's nothing because there's other people that's doing more, you know. So that was the type of life that I was living, and I lived like a millionaire life for like 10 years. But at the end, because all that doesn't come from nothing, you have to work a lot. And at the end, I was questioning myself, like, because when you have all that, and I didn't find the happiness, like, even at one time, because I was in my house, that I rebuilt my complete house, like, I made a container like to come in front of my house, and I destroyed everything, like throw out everything in the container, and I rebuilt everything like with the best of the material. But even after, I'm alone in my house, like, and I'm thinking like I'm not happy. Even if I drink the best of the alcohol, I'm not happy. So I was questioning myself like really badly, and it's then when sometime like you go into like little like what we can call like depression, because you're questioning yourself so much. And at the same time, like, because when you live that kind of life, it can't be good forever. So after 10 years, I got caught for a little thing, and I had a sentence of 11 months. So I went to jail for a few months, 9 months, and because I didn't, like, you don't do like the full sentence. Like I went to jail for 9 months. So there, because of my criminal file, like they put me like in a certain area, like the maximum. And at that time, like they put me like, even like if I had like a good life, there's always like you always want more. So there's like always, I was looking up to other people still, you know. So, and they put me like in a wing with like those kind of people that had even more money, that was spending even more money. Like they were talking like a lot of money. So and and you it's not like anybody, like we're talking just like that and you believe, like you can read it in the newspaper when something happened, like it's in the newspaper. So and they were talking about me like that. Even them, they were not happy. Even them, like they wanted to change. So really, all that made me even more like put in a position that I had that I had to think about my life. And after, at the end of my sentence, I got in a jail, in a cell with a Muslim, and that Muslim brother started to talk to me about Islam. And really now I was like, because I was already questioning myself, so I was really interested about what he was saying, and what is a good thing for him, what a bad thing for me. He got released, but he told me he would send me the Quran, but maybe something happened because he never did. Like, not, I don't know if he never did, but I never received it. So after I got released, and I went back to my same life, you know, and I forgot everything about God, because when you know more into problems and you're not a Muslim, as soon as things go good, like you forgot God again. And while I was like doing my life, I met up with a woman, and that woman, she was Muslim, and her mom, she told me that I should look up into Islam, and it's then that I started doing my own research.